Well, we've really gotten a better understanding about the ambiguity of philosophy, and philosophy in the sciences, where kind of philosophy begins and ends, or why science and philosophy were all bundled together in the days when it got started. But now we want to really hone in and say, well, what's in philosophy? We understand what biology is, right? If I asked you, what's biology? What's the answer? The study of life. You might talk about cells. You might talk about genetics, DNA, things like that. You might talk about medical issues. If I asked you about chemistry, you'd tell me about the chemicals, atoms, molecules, physics, about forces. But we still don't really have, we understand those questions, but what is left for philosophy? And the way that I can get towards refining what exactly philosophers talk about and they're doing is by asking you a half-joking question, and that is, what do philosophers and three-year-olds have in common? You might have seen it pop up a little bit. Sorry about that. What do you think about three-year-olds? What are three-year-olds doing all the time? If you have a younger sibling, your next door neighbor has a young kid, you've seen it. Maybe you have younger relatives. You've seen this happen all the time. Anytime you tell a three-year-old something, you get the answer, or you get the question as an answer. Why? Oh, come on, let's go out. We're going to the store. Why? Okay, now eat your lunch now. Why? Everything. Why? Now, sometimes three-year-olds are just asking those things to be ornery. And I'm not saying that philosophers are immature, childish, or anything like that. But rather the other things, the other reason three-year-olds get fixated on why is that they're trying to learn something. And what drives this question is their desire to know things. They don't understand things. They don't understand what's going on around them. And it's this desire in which they are similar to philosophers, or they're young philosophers. They're trying to find out about the world. Now, some of you may have heard of a scientist, an astronomer named Carl Sagan. Guy was actually brought up in Brooklyn, I believe born and brought up in Brooklyn, became a very famous astronomer, died several years ago. But he was a very famous scientist, a very famous astronomer, and he put on a series called Cosmos, talking about, well, he was talking about the first philosophers when he got started. But what's interesting, as I mentioned, is philosophy and science were all bundled together at the beginning. So when he was talking about the first scientists, that's when philosophy got started. All of science was part of philosophy. Remember, we said natural philosophy. And what he's talking about, we're going to take a look at a YouTube video in a second. Now, there's the link to the YouTube video. But that video is going to tell you something about philosophy and about how it got started, the period of philosophy that began when our subject and when our class really